Hi, trumpet player. Today we're going to talk about the real reason you're still getting tired too soon on trumpet. If you ever got tired in a rehearsal or a personal practice session or even a concert and you didn't think that you were going to make it to the end of that session, watch this video because it's going to help you. The first thing that we need to address is this fact. Taking the trumpet out of the case and then playing your favorite song of the day, while it's fun, it's not practice. So that's the first thing. You're calling something practice that's not practice. Just because you played the horn that day and put the horn to your lips and played your favorite song, that's not practice. So I'm telling you the truth today. I'm sorry if that's the first time you're hearing this. Maybe deep down inside you already knew that. But if you're only doing that, that would explain why you're getting tired so soon, so often. You need an actual practice routine to get ready. So consider any NBA athlete or Olympic athlete or high school athlete for that matter. You don't even need to be a pro. Before they play the sport that they're playing, they warm up the body. We need to do the same thing. It's very difficult to play on cold muscles, and especially for a prolonged time. You're straining yourself and you don't need to do that. All right, so that leads me to tip number 2, which is there isn't a real trumpet routine in place. If you need a trumpet routine, I have one for you. You can download it for free right now, and it's in the link in the description below. So I need to tell you what a routine actually is. So the first part is this, that it's something that you play on a regular basis. So as trumpet players, we need to play every day. Now, at this stage of my life, I've come to incorporate a day of rest in my routine. So I don't play every day. I take a day of rest every week. But that's the plan, and that's actually part of my routine. So routine is something that you do habitually on a regular basis. Think brushing your teeth, for example. So we need to develop a routine for trumpet playing so that we can get our body in shape for trumpet playing. And so I guess that brings the natural question, what should be in a routine? And really quick, I'll walk you through it. We need to have breathing exercises, and we just need to get our body ready for playing independent of the trumpet before we ever touch the trumpet. So maybe some light stretches and some breathing. For me personally, I love to walk. That really helps me out and gets my mind and my body ready to play the horn. And you can actually pick up the horn for the first time of the day. And if you're going in a particular order, I like to recommend playing the lead pipe because it's really hard to mess up blowing the lead pipe. When we're talking about buzzing in general, I think mouthpiece buzzing is at least an intermediate skill level practice, if not advanced. And lip buzzing is definitely an advanced technique. So I like to recommend lead pipe buzzing because it's really difficult to mess up, and secondly, there are a lot of benefits with minimal side effects of doing it incorrectly. And after you get your face warmed up with lead pipe buzzing, then you pick up the horn and put the tuning slide back in and play some long tones. Now right here, you definitely want to be locked in on your own mental sound concept, and you want to make sure that what's coming out of the bell is what you imagined. That's easier said than done, especially in the beginning of your development, but stick with it. Keep that sound concept loud and clear in your mind so that you stand a chance of getting it out of the bell. Next, you want to make sure that you practice some flexibility studies. Now, flexibility studies come in different forms. You got slurs, you got pedal tones, you have lip bends. That's what I'm calling flexibility. Now, to this point, what we've been doing is we've been stacking skills. So in the beginning, we don't even touch the horn. We're just getting the body ready. That's because my body is the primary instrument. That's one of my maxims, by the way. So the whole concept behind that maxim is that everything that you try to produce on the trumpet, it can be produced by the body first in some way, and it should be produced by the body first. What's the reason for that? The reason is oftentimes in life, not even only in trumpet playing, in life, we try to control external forces that we really have no control over. What do we have control over? We have control over our own body. We have control over what we think about. And so what's inside of you comes out in the bell. Whenever you want to make a change with yourself in general life, The change always happens internally before there's evidence externally. So the same is true for trumpet playing. So for this reason, we begin with breathing exercises just to get the body warmed up. And then by the time we get to the horn and we're playing the long tones, we are just really still focused on the breath. We want the sound to be steady. And then when we add the flexibility studies, then we're adding the tongue. And so the skills are starting to stack one by one by one. By using this stacked approach, you're able to ease into playing for the day, because really you want to ease into the playing. You don't want to just come in right away really hard playing. That's why you have low endurance right now in the first place. Remember, you're taking the horn out the case, you're playing your favorite tune, and you're not lasting long because you need to actually warm up into playing. All right, so you got your flexibility done for the day. Now you're going to add the tongue. So we use the tongue for flexibility, but we also use the tongue for articulation purposes. And so you want to have that in your routine as well, okay, for articulation. So you practice articulation in your routine. Next, you want to add the fingers to the equation. And there's none better than Clark studies when you're talking about developing the fingers. They're tried and true and have stood the test of time. And then finally, play your music that you were in the past beginning your routine with. End it with your music. And now this is where you can practice your sight reading, or if you're learning a tune in jazz or classical music, this is where you would do that. So if you don't have a routine at all, then just incorporating this every day is going to do wonders for your development on the horn. So give it a try. And again, there's a routine linked in the description below if you need one. All right, the third tip is this. You need to have something that you're working toward. So make many goals for yourself, something that you're working toward. And it can be really small. Let's say that there's a figure that you're working out that you just really can't play it at all. Make it your goal to play 4 measures of an 8-measure phrase. Or maybe it's a piece of music that's really fast. So, of course, the best way to develop a fast line is to practice it slowly. So you'll start at 60 beats per minute, for example, and work your way up to whatever the tempo is. Let's say it's 180 BPM. So make little goals for yourself to move up the metronome on your way to 180 BPM, and show patience while you're working it out. Don't be in a hurry. But it's extremely helpful to have something that you're working toward that helps you to lock in mentally, so that when you pick up your horn for practice, you're not just noodling and wasting time. And the fourth tip that I have for you today is that you need to have performances on your schedule. Now, why do you need to have performances? Well, it's similar to the third tip I gave you, having something to work toward. Now, when it comes to performing, it keeps you honest in your practice session. It'll help you minimize wasting time. But also, there are certain lessons that only come by performing. And I like to say that your trumpet training is incomplete until you have that performance. Because in every performance, something unexpected happens. And the way that you choose to manage those unexpected events help your development. It's part of your training. Another cool thing that happens in live performances is you get to really shoot for another level. The audience brings a certain energy that really makes you want to try new things and go for another level. And that takes your trumpet playing from here up a notch. So that's really cool. You got to have live performances on the schedule. Now, keep this in mind, that your live performances will grow with you. So I know you might be nervous to perform. Maybe it's been many years, decades since you performed for a live audience. That's totally cool. However, what I learned this lesson as a band director. I made the mistake. I put the first performance was the winter concert. Big mistake. I only made that mistake once. You're thinking that things have to be perfect, and they don't. So get a performance on the calendar as soon as possible. In the beginning, it could be very simple. It can be you gathering the people of your household together. If you live alone, it can be gathering your neighbors. And the performance doesn't have to be a big, long concert. It can be whatever you're working out, a few measures of a piece, a few measures of one song. That could be the entire performance. And as you improve, your concert will grow from one small fragment of a tune to 2 songs, and then it'll grow to a half-hour set, for example. So as you mature in your trumpet playing, your performances grow with you. And as your performances grow, your audience grows. Okay. So I want you to start thinking of performing as part of your development. You need to do it. Your trumpet playing development is incomplete if you're not performing. I've been helping trumpet players with the skills that we were talking about in this video through my program called the Returning Trumpet Player Method. There's a great group of returning trumpet players working things out right now as we speak. If that sounds good to you, then go ahead and apply to be in the program. The link to apply is in the description below this video. Otherwise, go ahead and click or tap on one of the videos on the screen to continue your education, and I'll see you there. God bless.